Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're journeying into a truly captivating case study. It comes from a listener's personal account, and it's just filled with these incredible life experiences, unexpected connections, and some really profound spiritual discoveries. Our mission, really, is to try and illuminate how things like destiny, devotion, and maybe deep-seated karma intricately shape individual journeys, often across continents.
Yeah, and what's truly remarkable here, I think, is seeing these universal truths, about life's purpose and the ripple effects of our actions play out in such, unique and vivid ways. You're about to hear a story of a pretty improbable friendship, a love that really defied tradition, and also the hidden karmic currents behind both, immense fortune and some sudden unexpected hardship. This deep dive, I think, will offer a compelling aha moment for you about how our past lives can powerfully echo into the present.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning with the individual who shared this incredible journey with us. We'll call them our listener for the story. Their path took this extraordinary turn after encountering DMC, that's the Dhammakaya Media Channel, and a revered teacher known as Luang Por. And the devotion level here is just, wow. Our listener was apparently so captivated by the teachings and Luang Por's voice that they stopped all other work just to listen, often moved to tears even. What do you think it was about his voice or the teachings that commanded such immediate and profound attention? It led to their life dramatically improving, so much so that people around them noticed.
Well, it really speaks to the universal resonance of the Dhamma, doesn't it? The teachings of the Buddha. Luang Por's voice, like with many enlightened teachers, it often carries this profound energy that can kind of bypass our usual intellectual barriers and just touch the heart directly. When someone encounters wisdom that deeply aligns with their inner truth, it can be incredibly transformative. Regardless of their background before that, our listener was clearly open to receiving that truth, which then acted as a catalyst for all these positive changes in their life.
Absolutely. And this positive shift seemed to almost set the stage for what came next. Our listener opened a small tour company, and interestingly, most of their clients turned out to be Arab. But here's where the story takes a really pivotal turn. In 2005, they were part of this pioneering team that opened the very first Good Friends House, or Ba Kalyanamit, in Bahrain. This was, unprecedented. It meant bringing Buddhist monks into the country for the very first time. And it was through this groundbreaking work that our listener met and formed an incredibly close friendship with an Arab man from Bahrain. Despite, huge differences in race, religion, everything, their bond became remarkably strong.
Right. And this connection, it truly highlights how an openness to universal knowledge can just transcend what seem like insurmountable cultural or religious divides. The listener's friend and his family were apparently so impressed by the wisdom they saw on DMC that they actually went as far as installing satellite dishes just to watch it. And this wasn't about, religious conversion or anything like that. It was more about a genuine willingness to seek and embrace wisdom that resonated with them. It shows that spiritual truths often speak across all boundaries, really.
So now let's turn our attention to the extraordinary life of our listener's Arab friend. He was born into immense privilege, son of one of Bahrain's top 10 millionaires. His father was a well-known real estate magnate, apparently celebrated for his kindness, generosity, deep love for family, and extensive charity work, helping the less fortunate. Our friend was the youngest of 9 kids, 5 sons, 4 daughters, and particularly beloved by his mother, who just showered him with exceptional care. And he wasn't just wealthy, described as handsome, highly intelligent too, but his real passion wasn't academics, it was handball. He dedicated himself completely to the sport, became the #1 player in the country by 16, even represented Bahrain internationally. Plus, his striking good looks led him to a career as an advertising model on the side. His love story is equally compelling. While studying in India, he met and fell deeply in love with the daughter of another Bahraini millionaire. She was described as, refined, serene, elegant, gentle, kind, all those things. Their hearts were instantly entwined, a real love at first sight kind of thing. But there's a catch. Muslim tradition often dictates that elders select the bride, right?
Yeah.
Men don't always get to choose freely. Despite this, they fought for their love. They eventually married and chose to live independently in a flat, leaving his family's grand mansion behind. Their love, they believed, was eternal, unshakable. And with both coming from millionaire families, finances were just never a worry. But beyond this incredible story, defying tradition, seemingly endless privilege, what might lie beneath the surface, driving these unique advantages, these deep bonds.
Precisely. Yeah, this kind of extraordinary life often points to some really profound karmic roots. In the case of the friend's parents, their immense sustained wealth, even though they weren't Buddhist, it stemmed from a really powerful act of merit from a very, very ancient past life. As a poor couple back then, they offered food to a Pachika Buddha. Now that's a self-enlightened Buddha, a rare and profound being who, unlike Buddha Gautama, doesn't actually teach others. An offering to such an enlightened being is considered incredibly potent, karmically speaking, and they made this offering with a specific wish: never to experience poverty again. This act, performed with what's called Nua Na Boon, pronounced roughly Nua Na Boon, it basically means a correct field of merit. It's like planting a seed in the most fertile spiritual ground you can find, maximizing the positive return. It generated just immense merit, leading them to be wealthy in every subsequent life, even when they weren't explicitly practicing Dhamma. It also cultivated their generous nature. And that specific merit continues to bring them wealth even in this current life.
Wow. That's a powerful illustration, isn't it? That specific, pure intentions in giving can create a legacy of wealth across lifetimes, even outside a particular spiritual path. And what about after this life? You mentioned their profound love. Where did that lead them?
Ah, yes. What's more, after passing away, the friend's parents were actually reborn as Deva's heavenly beings in the same golden mansion in Tavatimsa heaven. That's considered one of the higher celestial realms, a beautiful dimension where beings with immense merit are reborn. Their profound love for each other, combined with the strong merit from that Pekka Buddha offering, it ensured they were reunited there. And interestingly, they are now actively observing the high-ranking devas there who are mostly Buddhist, and they're becoming increasingly aligned with Buddhist principles themselves. About 80% Buddhist in their current state, is the understanding.
80% Buddhist. So even in a heavenly realm, there's still spiritual progression.
Absolutely. They're observing, learning from the more enlightened beings around them. It shows a clear spiritual development. And they very much want their son, back here, to make merit with a correct feel of merit, that same powerful kind, and dedicated to them. That's the kind of merit that can reach them effectively in their realm.
Got it. But despite this seemingly unshakable love and all the early privilege, life took an unexpected turn for the couple, didn't it? After both his parents passed away, his mother from old age, then his father 6 years later at 70 from gastric inflammation, he discovered something shocking. His inheritance had been largely claimed by his sister, leaving him with very little. Now, from a purely worldly perspective, you'd call that incredibly unfair, a harsh blow. How does karma explain such a dramatic turn, especially involving a family member?
It's quite a stark example of karma's, well, undeniable ledger. No deed, good or bad, truly goes unpaid in the long run. This sudden shift in fortune, the inheritance dispute, it reveals these deep karmic connections. In a past life, you see, after drifting away from the Dhamma community that's a community dedicated to the Buddha's teachings, the friend was actually the eldest son in a wealthy family. And in that life, he cheated his younger siblings out of their inheritance.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And his current sister? She was one of those very siblings he cheated back then. So this life's events are a direct karmic return, a form of debt repayment, you could say, often manifesting through the very people we've wronged in the past. His parents, watching from their heavenly abode, they apparently see this as a kind of decree of heaven, and their advice is simply for him to work hard. They also suggest making merit with a correct field of merit and dedicating it to help overcome this karma. And importantly, to remember that family bonds are ultimately far more valuable than wealth.
That's quite something. And what about his other family relationships? You mentioned his brother.
Right. His strong bond with his older brother, that stems from being relatives and siblings together in many past lives, always supporting each other. That positive connection carries through. And his children's connection to Dhamma, enjoying the songs and cartoons. That's also an echo of past lives when they were his children within the Dhamma community before the family strayed from the path.
What a compelling picture of how past actions, both positive and negative, can manifest so specifically affecting finances, relationships, even the inclinations of children. So, as our friend navigates this challenging new reality, his wife's family, they offer another angle on wealth, woe, and karma. She also came from immense wealth. There's that quote where she reportedly said she didn't even want to reuse things because she could just buy new. But her family's fortune also diminished significantly after her father's death. It relegated them to more of a middle-class status, losing their main income earner. This seems like a contrast to the sustained wealth of her husband's family. Why the difference?
Indeed, and the karmic roots are different. Her father's wealth came primarily from making extensive world relief merit. Songkhorlok is the term in past lives. This means he performed widespread acts of charity, public service, that sort of thing. Now, while this brought wealth for many lifetimes, it wasn't as, let's say, sustained or as specifically targeted as the friend's father's merit, which came from that incredibly potent offering to a Panchaka Buddha. This current life was essentially the last one, where that specific world relief merit was bearing its main fruit. So after his passing, the family's status reduced. He himself has since been reborn as a general from Thewa, or Brahmadeva, a kind of high-ranking deity in the Brahma realms, awaiting a revered figure.
Okay, different types of merit, different durations of effect. Makes sense. Now, her mother, the wife's mother, she's 80, described as gentle and kind, but her life has seen profound sadness. She was forced into an arranged marriage at just 12 years old to a man twice her age. She's a devout Muslim, prays regularly, makes annual pilgrimages to Mecca. But here's where it gets truly bizarre and frankly quite startling. This devout mother experiences a recurring phenomenon. Across the street from her home, there's a date palm garden, and from it, an army of worms described as finger-sized, yellow, hairy, regularly marches across the road. They swarm the walls of her house, they penetrate the walls, enter the home, eat everything. And horrifyingly, they bite her on her eyes, which are already partially blind, causing severe wounds. This isn't just once, it's a terrifying, recurring daily nightmare. The idea of a worm army from past life soldiers is, well, it's hard to grasp. Can you elaborate on how such a specific and bizarre karmic return manifests?
It is a powerful, yes, and disturbing illustration of how karma can manifest in incredibly precise and often symbolic ways. These tragic events in the mother's life, they also have deep karmic roots. Her arranged marriage at 12 to an older man, that's seen as karma's wheel turning. It's a direct consequence of her own actions in a past life. In that life, she lived in a similar society, and she herself arranged marriages for her own children or grandchildren in the same way, imposing her will on their lives.
So what she imposed on others came back to her.
Exactly, and her partial blindness. That stems from another past life where she argued fiercely with a friend and, in a moment of anger, threw sand in their face, causing them to lose their sight. That painful act is now returned to affect her own vision.
Goodness, and the worms, the worm army.
Yes, the horrifying worm army. This, too, is understood as a direct karmic consequence. In a past life, this mother, reborn then as a male soldier, led an army against a rival kingdom in a fierce battle. The worm army you hear about today is actually believed to be the reborn soldiers from that rival kingdom. Having just emerged from lower realms, perhaps animal realms or worse, the ancient enmity and the karma from that past conflict now draws them instinctively to harm her in this bizarre and terrifying specific way. It's a very precise karmic echo, showing that even the smallest beings can seemingly carry the imprint of past conflicts and animosities.
The universe truly has a long memory, doesn't it? Right down to the type of creature involved. Okay, let's circle back now to our listener, the person whose journey started all this. After returning to the temple, drawn back by DMC, they were apparently so deeply impressed by the warm, friendly welcome from the Dhamma teachers and staff there. They quickly became a dedicated volunteer, assisting at all the merit-making events. They truly discovered, as they put it, that all of life is merit boon. Their commitment seems unwavering. They completed numerous significant merit-making projects, things like the Kathina ceremony in 2004 and 2008, that's the annual robe offering for monks, contributions to statues of Luang Por, the Venerable Grandfather, and the main Buddha, and helping with the ordination of novice monks. And they achieved miraculous success with these projects, even when facing personal financial constraints. How do we understand this miraculous success in light of that idea that all of life is merit?
It's really a testament to the supportive power of accumulated merit, especially when done with pure intention. When someone dedicates themselves to meritorious acts so sincerely, particularly when they truly grasp that all of life is merit, meaning every wholesome thought, word, and deed counts, it all adds up. Yeah, it's like the universe itself conspires to help them. Favorable conditions arise. This isn't exactly magic. It's more the natural unfolding of good karma, attracting the necessary resources, connections, favorable circumstances to ensure their virtuous endeavors succeed, even when things look difficult on the surface.
A universal conspiracy of goodness, I like that. And our listeners' most recent and perhaps most impactful project was their crucial role in coordinating and facilitating that historic ordination of 10 novice monks in Bahrain, truly the first ever event of its kind in the Middle East. It brought immense joy, especially to the Thai community there, and it really stands as a testament to their dedication.
Absolutely. And again, this listener's life, their deep connections, are just profoundly steeped in past karma, that strong bond with the Arab friend and his family. It exists because our listener was actually a kalyanamit, meaning a good friend or spiritual supporter to that Arab friend in a past life. They encouraged him to make merit back then, and even tried to bring him back after he drifted away from the Dhamma community. This explains their current close bond, rekindled across lifetimes.
So that feeling of connection was real, rooted in the past.
Precisely. And the listener's consistent connection with Muslims and Arabs generally in their life, That's no accident either. In past lives, they made a powerful cross-eon aspiration that's a profound vow spanning many, many lifetimes, specifically to spread the Dhamma, the teachings of the Buddha, globally. So their current profession, their interactions are in many ways a direct fulfillment of that ancient vow, enabling them to act as that good friend to this community now.
Wow. And it's not just a connection to the people they help, but also the teachers.
Yes, exactly. Our listeners' profound connection isn't just with the teachings in abstract, it's also with the teachers themselves. The very Dhamma teacher who initially inspired them has a remarkable karmic journey of his own. He was apparently a king soldier in a previous Buddha era who followed his king into monkhood. He attained profound spiritual understanding, spent his life spreading the Dhamma, and has now been reborn for a second time specifically to continue this mission. His current apparent lack of, say, worldly academic skills is seen as a conscious choice. He sees a little point in it compared to Dhamma practice. But his deep wisdom and diligence in Dhamma explain his ability to memorize the entire Patimokkha, the complex code of monastic rules, which is a feat requiring incredible mental discipline and focus.
That's fascinating. Lineage of connection, not just through family, but through shared spiritual purpose across lifetimes. So for our listener and for everyone who participated in that historic Bahrain ordination, what's the ultimate karmic outcome? What does that kind of merit bring?
Oh, the merit for all involved in something like that is considered immense. It's said to bring great wisdom, to help close the doors to rebirth in lower realms, ensure rebirth in heavenly states, and perhaps most significantly for the future, it establishes a strong ordination blueprint for future lives.
Yeah.
This doesn't just benefit them now, but it sets this profound karmic pattern that makes it much easier for them to re-enter monastic life should they wish, and attain spiritual heights in their next existences. It really suggests that acts of compassion, of spreading wisdom, of spiritual dedication, they weren't just for this lifetime. They echo forward, potentially into eternity.
What an absolutely incredible journey we've taken today. We've traversed cultures, generations, even different realms of existence, it feels like. We've seen how seemingly small actions, when guided by clear intention, can ripple across vast stretches of time, shaping not only individual lives, but also this broader tapestry of human connection. From millionaires blessed by ancient offerings to, well, worm armies enacting past life vengeance, every detail seems intricately woven into a larger karmic story.
It really is extraordinary, isn't it? The power of merit, especially when accumulated with a correct field of merit, it's just profound. It provides this deep underlying support across countless lives. It illuminates why some lives seem blessed with sustained wealth and strong bonds, while others grapple with these challenging karmic repayments. And it also highlights how different types of merit can lead to different outcomes, like the contrast between that general world relief merit, widespread generosity, and the incredibly potent, targeted merit from offering to a Pacceka Buddha.
So wrapping this up, what does all this mean for you, the learner, listening to this really profound deep dive?
I think it really invites us to consider the profound interconnectedness of all beings and the enduring impact of our intentions and our actions, both good and bad. These stories of wealth and loss, love and struggle, they're all part of this larger karmic tapestry. They really urge us to reflect on our own choices moment to moment. Every interaction, every act of kindness or perhaps unkindness, it sets in motion a chain of events that might echo across lifetimes, shaping not just our own future, but potentially the lives of those all around us.
It's truly something to ponder, the weight of our actions.
Indeed. And here's a final thought, perhaps. If even those outside an explicit Dhamma tradition, like the friend's parents or his wife's father, can accumulate such vast merit through sheer generosity and pure intention, creating paths to heavenly realms, what untapped potential lies within each of us right now to shape our future and the world around us through conscious, ethical action? How might you, listening now, be acting as a good friend, a kalyanamit in your own life? And how could you perhaps further cultivate that really powerful, transformative role?